Hello, this is Jason Matthews. I'm a retired law enforcement officer, and today I'm going to be answering the question, are the police racist? But before we get started, if you support the police, click the like button. And if you do not support the police, click the dislike button. It's anonymous. And I'm just curious of where you stand because there's a lot of divisiveness out there in society regarding the police. So I'm just curious about your opinion. All right, let's get started. Are the police racist? And the answer is very simple, but the explanation is very in-depth and complicated. So the answer to the question is, yes, the police are racist, but so are you. Everyone is racist. And how could that possibly be? Because we are a part of the human race, and racism is a natural human instinct, and it's based on survival instinct. Now, let me give you my qualifications on speaking on this subject. And beyond my decades of law enforcement, I'm also married to a black woman, and I'm around my black family on a regular basis. Additionally, I went to high school in a predominantly black area. My high school was probably 85% black, and I received discrimination. And then also I was in the military with a lot of different cultures, people of different races. So I'm very conscious and well-versed, and also I have studied this subject quite extensively. And so this is very similar to the video I did, Are the Police Corrupt? You can see that and listen to that on this channel. Police are corrupt. However, you are corrupt also. But there's levels here. There are levels, and there's a lot to explain regarding these levels. Now, are police, compared to the regular average person in society, are police more racist or less racist? I will say, based on my experience, they are far less racist. And why is that? Because police go through mandatory required training, quite extensive training. For example, I went through 9 months of the academy before I was even put on the street. And there's regular ongoing training. And a lot of police have college degrees. Now, the fact that everyone is racist, every single human alive, there may be a very, very rare person that is alive that is not racist, but if anyone's not racist, I'm probably up there pretty close, even though I can admit that even I am racist. So white people are racist, black people are racist, everyone is racist. And this really goes into what is called spiral dynamics. Spiral dynamics, you should look it up and study it very in depth. This will help you understand yourself and society as societies evolve and as you evolve in your life. And it's not going to take 5 minutes. It's going to take many, many hours of studying this model because it's very in-depth and it explains a lot if you understand it properly. So most people who are in society and probably are listening to this are either stage blue, stage orange, or stage green. If you're stage blue or stage orange, the fact that you're racist doesn't even register in your mind. That possibility doesn't even exist as a thought. And not only that, not only does it not register as a thought, but it also is denied if it's brought up. So right now, if you're in stage blue or stage orange, you're hearing this and you're probably, in your mind, you're saying you're not racist. If you're stage green, spiral dynamics, it's not in your conscious mind that you're racist, but it's in your unconscious mind. And so that's why we got a lot of progressives who most progressives are in stage green. It's not in their conscious mind that they're racist. It's in their unconscious mind. They will project out their racism unconsciously, and they will criticize others as being racist because that's a projection that they're putting out there of their own guilt and their own hatred. Whereas stage blue and stage orange, that's not even recognized even at the subconscious level yet. But as they progress, if they progress, that will come to the forefront. Now, me being stage turquoise, I can acknowledge that I'm racist. I know that I'm racist, probably to a very, very minor degree. But at this level, if I know in my conscious mind that I'm racist and I admit that I'm racist, it's like my racism, the little bit that's still there, it dissolves right in front of me. So just by admitting it, by recognizing it, and by analyzing it, it's like it's not even there. And because of the experiences that I have in my life and the state that I'm in my life. Now, as far as policing goes, I can tell you I have worked in some very progressive areas in my career. And I will say that in a lot of progressive jurisdictions, it is highly frowned upon to hold people of minority races accountable for their actions, contrary to what you see on the news. Now, there are some areas where probably minorities are scrutinized more than, for example, the white race. However, in progressive jurisdictions, I will say for myself, and I will say for other officers that I worked with, there were many, many times, most of the time, as a matter of fact, where I would not pull over someone of the black race because there was a conception out there that if you held someone of the black race accountable, if you stopped them, if you confronted them about a law that they broke or whatever the case may be, unless you absolutely had to, for example, speeding tickets or other minor violations where they were left up to the officer. If left up to the officer, and I can say this for myself, would not even pull over that person if I knew what their race was. If I knew they were black, I would not pull them over because people in progressive jurisdictions are worried about being called a racist or being labeled as a racist. Why would I want to put my job under scrutiny unnecessarily? And see, that's bad for society, though. That's bad for society because people are not held accountable equally. Now, many times as an officer, if I'm behind someone or I see someone at a distance, like, for example, many times in my career, if nothing was happening, I would sit up on a hill looking down on a stop sign to see if someone would run the stop sign. And so it was a far distance away. I would have no clue what the race of that person was. And there's many incidents like this also, where as an officer, you have no idea what the race of the person is until you actually stop them or you get close enough to see them. To me, it didn't matter either way. Even if I were to stop someone, a black person that I stopped, and I hate using the word black, but most people use that term, and that's a very widely used term. In order for me to make myself clearly understood of what I'm talking about, I have to use that term because there's so many ambiguous terms out there that could be used, but we're going to make it very straight and to the point. We're not going to be politically correct. We're going to I tell you what's really happening. That's the point of this channel, to give you the truth as I saw it, not to give you a bunch of fluff like many of the things you see and hear in social media, including YouTube. So in very progressive jurisdictions, black people are not even stopped in my experience. Again, I don't know every jurisdiction. I don't know everything that's happening out there, obviously, because there's thousands of jurisdictions in the United States. There's almost 1 million law enforcement officers out there. But I can tell you, based on my decades of experience and the jurisdictions that I worked in, I can give norms more than the average person could give by a far margin. I knew a lot of law enforcement officers. I engaged in a lot of arrests and a lot of stops over my career. I wanted to jump in here because I forgot to say something important in my explanation about survival instinct. When we're talking about survival instinct, what I'm referring to here is it's very natural for humans to divide themselves into familiar surroundings. When I say familiar surroundings, I'm talking about races. And I'm going to release a video about how race works in prison, specifically maximum security prison. But this will explain this a little bit more. So keep an eye out for that video. But we tend to group each other together. We tend to group among ourselves of people that are familiar to us, especially in survival situations. It's very normal. So if I'm a black person, it's very natural and normal, especially in survival situations, to align myself with someone who is like me, with my culture, the way I look, the way I do things. And this happens without even a conscious knowing of that it's happening. It happens, we could say, naturally. It's in the subconscious. And so that is where racism comes from, the natural survival instinct. So we can't really say, in my opinion, if it's good or bad. It just is. It just exists. It's just part of our DNA and our makeup. Now, as we advance, then we can recognize that it even exists, and we can possibly overcome it to a large extent. And is racism going to be resolved anytime soon? Absolutely not. Not even close. Considering what I said before, most people don't even realize that they're racist. And not only will they not realize it, but they will actually fight against it. So it does no good to tell someone that they're racist, because an unconscious defense mechanism will be engaged. So let me restate the question and answer it one more time. Are the police racist? Yes, the police are racist because they're part of the human race, and everyone in the human race, including you, including me, including everyone you know, is racist. It's just a matter of how much. And so, again, with spiral dynamics, it depends on what level you're on. It depends on how racist you are. Because spiral dynamics is all about consciousness. And how conscious are you of what you're doing on a daily basis or in your life in general? Most people are not that conscious. They are very reactive. Just like all the comments I get on this channel. Most people just lash out. Their survival instinct is to just lash out because their ego is being threatened. When they hear something that is not to their liking, without even thinking about it, really, they lash out. So I encourage you to go study spiral dynamics to a great extent, because in 5 minutes, even in an hour, you're not going to get it and you're not going to understand it. You need to research it in depth. There's actual courses about this, and then apply it to your life. And then you will have a deeper understanding, not only about this subject, but about all subjects relating to societies and people and organizations. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to be notified when new videos are released. Take care and have a great day.